Welcome to our video of the water drawing ceremony that took place during Sukkot. This ancient Jewish practice was a grand display of music, dance, and devotion to Hashem. Hasidim and men of action were juggling torches, while the Leviim were playing their musical instruments and singing, and the two Kohanim were blowing their trumpets to declare their devotion to Hashem while on their way to the Shaluach spring to draw the water for the Nisach HaMayim, for the water pouring. But beyond this celebration lies an amazing, powerful lesson that you and I can put into our own lives right now. Join me now as we explore how they celebrated the Simchas Beis HaShe'eva and how it led up to the water drawing, and how we can apply this powerful lesson into our daily lives. Chasidim v'anshei Maisa, the Chasidim and the men of action, they would dance before the people in the Ezras Noshim, ba'avukos shel or, with torches of fire shebideihin, that was in their hands. And they said that some juggled with 4 and some juggled with even 8 torches. It was quite an amazing feat. V'omrim lifneihem, and they would say before them divrei shiros, words of song, v'sishbachos, and praises. V'halaviim b'chinoros uvin volim, and the Leviim would be playing their harps and their lyres, different type of string instruments, uvim tziltayim, and their cymbals, uvachatzoitzros, and their trumpets, uvechlei shir beloi mispar, and musical instruments without any number. There was so many different types of music going on. It was a real party and a real simcha celebration of the Simchas Beis HaShe'eva. Tosfos Yom Tov says something very interesting about these Chasidim v'anshei Maisa. V'lo haya oisin oisa am haaretz. The people that were doing the singing and the juggling and the rejoicing were not the simple people of the land. V'chol mi sheyirtze, and anybody that wanted. Ela gedolei chachmei Yisrael, but it was the great wise people of Israel, the people that were on a high spiritual standing. The Roshei Yeshivas, and the heads of yeshivas, the Sanhedrin and the Sanhedrin, the Hazakanim and the elders. All these people were the ones that were allowed to do the singing and the, so to speak, entertaining. The Anshei Maisa, and people of good deeds. Haim Shahayim Barakim, they were the ones that danced. Or Mesapkim and clap, or Menagnin and would sing. Or Mesamchin b'migdash b'mei Chag HaSukkos, and they would rejoice in the days of the festival of Sukkot in the sanctuary. Aval Kola Amha Anoshim v'Anoshim, but all the people, the men and the women, Kulan Bayin Liros V'Lishmoya, they came to see and to hear. Lashon at Rambam, Sof Hilchos Lulav. Al Chamesh Esrei Mailos Hayardos Me Ezras Yisrael LeEzras Noshim. On the 15 steps that go down from the Ezras Yisrael, from the court of Yisrael to the Ezras Noshim, to the court of the women's court, Keneged Chamisha Osa Shira Malos. This corresponded to the 15 Shira Malos Sheba Tehillim that are written in Tehillim. What was going on these steps that corresponded to the 15 Shira Malos in Tehillim? Sha'alein Leviim Oimdim. The Leviim would stand upon them. B'chlei shir, with musical instruments, for Oimrim Shira, and they would sing song, they would say praises to Hashem. V'amdu shnei kohanim b'shar ha'elyon, and 2 kohanim would stand on the upper gate, sheyered me'ezras Yisrael le'ezras Noshim, that would go down from the Ezras Yisrael to the Ezras Noshim. So if we just have a look at the Tiferes Yisrael on this, Rotza Loima b'shar Nikanor, this place that the 2 kohanim stood on the Shar Elyon, it's actually Shar Nikanor, it's also called the Gate of Nikanor, Shehu Bain Ezras Yisrael Ezras Noshim, which is between the Ezras Yisrael and the Ezras Noshim. Nimsa she'amdu l'mayla mimokom harikudim. It comes out that these 2 kohanim were standing higher up from the place of where the dancing was, v'asimcha, and the joy. So if we just have a look at the diagram here, you can see over here, this is the 15 steps. They would stand and they would be singing with their instruments, the Leviim. And at Shar Nikanor, here's the gate over here That's the Sha'ar Elyon, the upper gate. That is where the two Kohanim were standing, and they would be looking at all the dancing that was going on over here in the Ezras Noshim by the Anshay Mesa and the Hasidim, the special people who were on a higher spiritual level, that they were entertaining and praising Hashem in front of all the people. Ushtei chatzotzros bideihen, and they had two trumpets in the hands, these two Kohanim that were standing on the Sha'ar Elyon at Sha'ar Nikanor. Kara hagever, once the rooster crowed, or another opinion is when the crier called out to start the avodah in the Beis Hamikdash, Takul v'Ariyo v'Sakul, they blew a tekiah, a trua, and a tekiah with their trumpets. So if we look at the Rabbeinu Ovadia, the Rav, Takul v'Ariyo v'Sakul, Zeh Siman, this was a sign, Leilech or Lamalos, to go and to fill Mayim, water, Lenisuch min ha-shiluach, for the pouring on the Mizbech from the Shiluach spring. Higio Lamaila Asiris, when they reached the 10th step, that's over here, on the 10th step out of these steps going down, Takul v'Ariyo v'Sakul, they again blew a tekiah, a trua, a tekiah with their trumpets. Higia la'azara, when they reached the Azara, which this is the ground of the Ezras Noshim, so they're off the stairs completely, they're on the actual ground of the Ezras Noshim. Takul v'Ariyo v'Sakul, they again blew a tekiah, a trua, a tekiah. Hayo soikin v'holchin, they were continuously blowing ad shemagiin l'shah hayotzei mizrach, until they reached the gate that was going out, exiting eastward in the Beis Hamikdash. They're continually blowing until they get to the Sha'ar Ezras Noshim. This was the gate, until they reach this point over here, all the way from the Sha'ar Nikanor all the way down to the Sha'ar Ezras Noshim, and they were blowing while they were walking along. Higiu l'sha'ar hayotzei mizrach, when they reached to the gate that was going out eastward, hafchu fnein l'marav, they turned their faces to the west. And if we just look in the Rav, hafchu fnein l'marav, letzad ha'azara v'ha'heichal, towards the Azara and the Heichal, Kedei Loma Dovazer, in order to say this, a declaration that they're about to say. They were facing the women's court and the Heichal further deeper into the Beis Hamikdash. They were turned their heads to face the sanctuary. V'amru, and they said, Avoseinu shahayu v'makom hazeh, our fathers that were in this place, achorem el Heichal Hashem, their backs were to the Heichal of Hashem, to Hashem's temple. Ufnaim Kadma, and their faces were eastward towards the sun. V'hema mishtachavim Kadma l'shamash, and they bowed down eastward to the sun. They were idol worshippers. V'anu, but for us, l'ka einenu, our eyes are to Hashem. In other words, we're looking towards Hashem with our eyes. Rabbi Yehuda argues, he says, they would actually repeat and say, Anu l'ka, we are to Hashem thankful for the past, or l'ka einenu, and to Hashem our eyes are looking to the future in hope. So just a recap of what we've learned. The Simchas Beis HaSha'eva, the celebration of the water drawing, was a grand display of dance, music, and gratitude, praising Hashem. Hasidim and Anshay Mesa, men of action, really good special people, and leaders in the community, they would be dancing with torches while the Levim would be playing the music and singing on the 15 steps, corresponding to the Shir Amalos and Tehillim. And two Kohanim would blow their trumpets to signal that they need to start traveling towards the Shiluach spring to collect the water for the water drawing. The Kohanim would continue blowing their trumpets till they reach the eastern gate, where they turn around and give praise to Hashem, unlike their previous ancestors that would worship the sun. And we talked about Anu l'ka, that we are to Hashem, and how Rabbi Yehuda was arguing on this praise and saying that we repeated it a second time because we thank Hashem for the past and our eyes are towards Hashem for the future. Thanks for watching. I really hope you enjoyed learning about the Nisuch HaMayim, the water drawing ceremony, and the important lesson that we see that we can take from them on the preparation and hard work that they invested in this whole operation of the Simchas Pesach She'eva. Remember, this message can be applied into all areas of our lives, including our davening and our learning. So let's strive, let's work hard, let's work diligently as we stay focused on our goals, just like they did during the Simchas Pesach She'eva.